So we have blue-white mill. One of the best ways to kind of tell if your deck's going to potentially be a little bit awkward is look at how many potentially not quite constructed playable cards you have in your deck before you get started. A Pirate's Life for me, Bloody Roar. Thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Yeah, so a couple of small details here. First is that Homerid Scout is a 3/3 that mills 4 cards. It's a 3/3 for 4, and that's a sleep. This deck probably needs a couple more lands in it, and it definitely needs some more white sources, I think. So what's the... Does anybody know what the tapped land is called? What's the blue-white... Why is it showing me these two? What's the blue-white always tapped land? Meandering River. There we go. Let's get 4 Meandering Rivers in my deck. If you want to play this color combination, you're gonna have to suck it up and play Meandering River. There's just not a lot about it. So I'm gonna at least do that to start. There's Cleansing Novas in the sideboard. I do kind of like the idea of Murmuring Mystic in the main deck as another win condition. That's kind of cute. Although, again, kind of the appeal of playing something like this is that you can kind of sidestep creature removal. So I think I'm actually going to just bring these Novas into the main deck. And then maybe post-board, especially against like other control decks, we could bring in the Murmuring Mystics from there. Yeah. Let's give this a try. Again, I don't like to make too many changes to decks before I actually play games with them, but I feel like this one was a little bit disjointed and the mana wasn't quite there. So I want to at least make sure we can like try and play Magic, right? Oh, I should post on the Twitters what we're doing and update the stream decker before we dive into the queue. I have 1 Masterpiece, Teferi. Okay, tweeted, updating stream decker. All right, let's pop on in. Shift should be Chemist's Insight. Yeah, probably. Probably not a terrible idea. And in little details like that, I don't mind like playing the submitted card first and getting a feel for it. Major Glory, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Seeing seems great. Yes, Cam Bam. It's not strictly better Wraithmourne, it's just different. Because while it does draw more cards in the long run, it takes more mana to draw those more cards. Drown Secrets those that familiar. Whenever we play a blue spell, a player mills 2 cards. So our ops and such will start milling their cards over. I think I want to just set my land drops here. So the real question here is, do I discard the Seal away if they potentially are a Thief of Sanity deck? No, I'm going to discard the Settle the Wreckage. Perfect. The Nexus of Fate and Gaia's Blessing really aren't cards that people play in the competitive sense, though. They're like cards that definitely exist in the format, but as far as like C's play, like they're not something that you... Not something that you really see very often. You have to imagine against decks that aren't pressuring the board, our deck's probably pretty reasonable. Even just like 1 Drowned Secrets is gonna run them out very quickly. Yeah, I believe you that you've played against them, but as far as like decks that people like show up to tournaments with, or like decks that I've seen on the ladder, I actually can't remember the last time I played against a Nexus of Fate or I've never played against a Gaia's Blessing, and I can't remember the last time I played against a Nexus of Fate. Arena does not have those options, no, Jace. Which is unfortunate. Those are nice features coming from Magic Online that would be great to have here in Arena.
Sorry I'm late. Keep up the pace.
I think I want to just plus this rather than tuck their Blood Operative. Like, drawing more cards is good, believe it or not. Hey, see how many cards left to your opponent's deck? You can mouse over it, so there's a 37 up here right now. That's a tough beat.
That didn't pan out.
That can actually stay right there. So I'm going to play Teferi. I'm going to put a stop on my end step.
Right on. Get no time for a break.
Can do this. Can play this. And then during my end step, after my Teferi trigger... Oh, I don't even have to wait for my Teferi trigger since we're on tap plan. We just come seal away. Come seal away. Come seal away with me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Little things that make the Arena interface so great are like this Eldritch Reborn trigger, for example. Like, they made me discard a card and I only had one card in my hand, so it's just like, put the only card in my hand in my discard pile. It's like, this makes sense. Let's do it. I got them all cut, actually. I didn't just get one cut. $34 cards. This is popping off next turn. I think I'm just supposed to tuck this. No, I don't want to Azcanta first because my opponent's deck is full of discard effects. So I want to like have my hand empty and then discard them at end of turn. Is ideal. I feel like they have the disinformation campaign of the Doom Whisperer here.
You need to slow down.
You have 30 cards. 30's like 7 more blue spells. That's a lot.
This one out.
Hopefully we can find like Psychic Corrosion into a card that draws cards. Be a good sequence for us.
Let's take it back.
The number of cards in their deck is not something that the overlay has access to. They currently have 31. I think I'm actually supposed to take Cleansing Nova here.
Hurry!
I just want to keep my Teferi alive. Oh, would you look at that? I'm gonna stop at my end of turn here. So that way Teferi can untap 2 of my lands. And then I can kick this and return this to my hand. I'm probably supposed to leave the land in my hand. That's fine, we drew another land, God bless. You gotta thrive in it, goalie. You don't want them to concede. You want them to sit there and be miserable. It's actually kind of funny. Every time I tuck with Teferi, it's kind of like giving them a health, right?
For plan B.
And like this Teferi is going to trigger this plus this and permanently get rid of the Doom Whisperer, which is nice. Yeah, you can find decks we played earlier today in the deck queue on my website, and then once I'm done streaming, they'll all be published live on my YouTube channel. 24 cards in their deck. This will put them to 22 cards in their deck.
Let's skip to the good part.
Let's skip to the good part. One land off of activating this Azcanta, unfortunately. They do have double Blood Operative here, but their clock is ticking down pretty quickly, right? Like, even if I draw a blank next turn, I'm gonna get to, like, double activate my Teferi. Well, I can crack the Fountain of Renewal at their end of turn here, right? Do they have 3 up? Yeah. And I want to do that at end of turn, though, because they have the Disinformation campaign here. Isn't every deck with Teferi technically a build deck? That's true. That's true. That is Teferi's secret mode. Down to 19 cards. I don't know, this is our first game with it, Jace, and this build is a little bit different than what we played last time. That might be my conclusion at the end, but I haven't played games with this build to know if that's, just feels like bad blue-white or not. We did play the Red-Green Frenzy deck already, so decks that are not currently in the stream title are ones that we've already played. Down to 11 cards. Oh, I guess playing this means I can't activate Search. It's a little bit sad. Yeah, maybe I should have held the other Azcanta so I could activate Search. Are there any blue-white builds you risk calling good in this format? I don't think so. So, like, because Steam Vents and Sacred Foundry are cards that exist in the format, like, playing dedicated blue-white and not giving yourself access to the red cards for, like, mostly free seems kind of silly. Like, it's such a low cost of inclusion to put the other color cards in your deck. So, like, looking for a cantrip at this point. That's a lethal opt, right? I think it's a lethal opt. It's pretty close. Yeah, it's a lethal opt. This mills 6. Overmilled by a good margin there. Bye, friend. Pop goes the chase. Do 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 do. All right, blue-black stiff. Ixalan's Binding seems good. Settle seems medium. Cleansing Nova seems medium. I'm gonna bring in Murmuring Mystic. Do I want some counterspells in this matchup? I'm not sure that I do. Fountain of Renewal doesn't seem particularly necessary. Bring in... Nah, Lyra doesn't seem great. I'm gonna bring in the Dream Eater as a tempo card. Or do I just want the counter spells? What if they have a single Nexus at their sideboard? Major tilt. Syncopate's probably not bad, especially in the draw. Let's just bring in 2 Syncopates and 3 Sabotages. See how that goes. Yeah, seems fine, right? So, whether or not Syncopate's better or worse than the player draw kind of depends on the matchup that you're playing it in, right? So this matchup has key 3-mana spells that I'm interested in countering, like Thief of Sanity and Disinformation Campaign. So Syncopate's pretty good on the draw because it's a 2-mana counter to stop their important 3-mana plays. That one, stop it. Get out of here. Yeah, Corrosion this early should be pretty hard for them to keep up with. They have like Thief of Sanity this turn, they can maybe get out from underneath it. I think I'm bidding Teferi here. Bidding Teferi or am I bidding Blink? I'm gonna bid Teferi. Pretty far off of casting that. Man, that's a tilt. Remember when we added 2 more lands to the deck? Glad we did that. We do have to be careful with this Storko, because once we mill a Thief of Sanity, they're going to get to copy him into one. So I probably want to seal that away at some point. Man, that's brutal. Oh, I added 2 lands. There were 22 originally. I went up to 24. Declan woke me up at 5 a.m. this morning. I forgive him, though, because he's sick. So, like, the thing you have to remember, and this is something that people don't account for, 24 is low for a traditional control deck, but this deck has a bunch of ways to draw cards in it. Like, when you're seeing more cards per game, you can play less lands in your deck and still hit them consistently, right? That's how the mathematics work out. Yeah, as long as your card draws cheap. Like, obviously, like, Chemist's Insight doesn't let you cheat on your land count, but, like, Chart of Course and Opt, these are effects that let you cheat on your land drop a little bit, your land count a little bit. I'll grab my sweater really quick. My basement's a little bit cold. Where'd my sweater go? Alright, this is going to resolve. That resolving is really good for us. Locking them out of Doom Whispers is fantastic. It's their most efficient threat, so like them not being able to put their 6/6 into play is going to decrease their clock significantly, because it doesn't really matter if they're picking apart our hand if they're not killing us while they're doing so, right? Yep. Maybe I should have discarded the Teferi. Oh, they're discarding the Teferi Forest. Deal. Ding. They're down to 29 cards in their deck. And again, just like, they get to sit here and mope around, but like, not really. They're just spinning their tires, right? So in response to the disinformation campaign trigger, I'm going to go ahead and blink of an eye this back to their hand. That lets them replay it again, but like, I don't really care. I just want to mill them for 2. Go ahead and draw another card. Like, every time they resolve this disinformation campaign, it basically puts them 1 health lower, right? Like, please keep generating card advantage. Thank you. Like, we're milling them a minimum of 2 cards per turn. They're drawing 2 cards per turn, so like, they're losing effectively 4 health per turn. Hey, look, an op that mills 4 cards. Hey, look, an opt that mills 4 cards. This one only mills 2 cards, but I think I'm okay with that. They're down to 14 cards in their deck. So, I'm going down to 10. This kills me in 6. They're losing a minimum of 3 cards per turn, so they're currently dead in 5. If I draw a blue spell at some point, that clock increases dramatically, or if I draw another cantrip especially. I boarded out all of my Cleansing Novas. For this reason, partially, and also because they just don't have a ton of creatures. Sure. This is the best possible thing they could have gotten. That seems good for us. We have 38 cards. Our health is 38. Their health is 13. Seems like it bodes well for our hero. Azcanta is going to help us find action more consistently. They could have counter spells in their deck here, right? Joke's on you, opponent. Our cards are bad. To be fair, they're milling us 3 cards per turn with the Thief of Sanity. What? Alright. Cantrip into cantrip should be lethal here. Cantrip into cantrip should be lethal here. They named Teferi for those that didn't see that go away. Oh, that's a blink of an eye. That one could stay right there. I would love to transform search for Azcanta. Thank you for asking. Kick it. Do 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 do. For those of you that are new to Hoaglandia, Beastie Boys followed by Smoke on the Water is a staple here. You're just gonna have to learn to love it. Are we better off not activating it because we can't, not transforming because we can't activate it this turn? Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion, actually. I think you are correct. All right. They're concocting here. I mean, night shift is a perfect day to have your stream go late. What's going on? Thanks for the support. Hope you're having a good one under. So they're probably gonna bounce Ixalan's Binding here. This actually puts lethal into play. If they have a negate here, we could be dead. Yeah, Deckmaster is not conducive to... They're bouncing Psychic Corrosion. Okay, so they must have a negate for that then, right? Lovely. All right, so they're going to 4 here. How do you feel about treasure map over Azcanta? This deck as it draws cards? I'm not quite sure. So this deck has a lot of cheap cantrips in it, which means you're spending your mana early doing that, which means you likely don't have extra mana laying around to spend early on treasure map scries. Also, search for Azcanta as a blue card to trigger Drowned Secrets, which is not irrelevant. They have 3 cards in their deck, so I need to find I need to resolve a blue cantrip. If you'd bounce the corrosion, wouldn't they be dead? Not necessarily. They would have gotten in another hit with this off of my deck, which could have found them something like an Ixalan's Binding or some other card that could have messed up the game. A counter spell, for instance. Azcanta does not count as drawing a card. Azcanta is taking a card and putting it into your hand, which sounds like drawing a card, but it is not. No, I need to mill them twice. They have 3 cards, and you don't lose the game until you go to draw a card and can't. So there needs to be 0 cards. Oh, plus my draw step. You're right. Okay, draw step. Got it. Right. You got it. Forgot about the draw step. Listen, chat, I am not a mill expert, okay? We're just working. We're working our way hard up the mill lines, okay? Need to find a way to draw an extra card. We get 2 Azcanta activations and a draw step to do that. Looking for a lethal cantrip here. Psychic Corrosion will do it. That's true. If there's anybody that's a mill expert, it's definitely Twitch chat. Cast my lethal spell that you know about. Trigger. My friend. Boop. Goes the weasel. How we doing, folks? Good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I stream Magic full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Constructed. We play a ton of Standard here on Arena. We also play some Modern on Magic Online. I'm here 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I love what I do here, but my subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. Fast subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 5 months now, and we really love it. Flacca Dido, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. CoolStuffInc.com buy and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles using promo code Jeff5. You can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. You may or may not hear my wonderful shuffling deck here, which is protected by none other than my BCW Elite Guard sleeves, using code Jeff10 at BCWSupplies.com. Oh no! Oh no! I fumbled the air bridge. It's the first time I've done that on stream. Using code Jeff10 at BCWSupplies.com. You can save 10% on all of your orders of sleeves, deck box, and all sorts of other wonderful gaming supplies with them. Anywho, I'd like to pop on into our next match here. We're 1-0 to start with our blue-white mill deck. We found a blue-black mid-range deck of sorts to beat the first time. So let's see if we can run into a couple other things here and see how it goes. That was brutal to watch, the game and the shuffle. Thank you for the biddies, Mr. Heat. Now here's the perfect chance to show. Well, these cards got a little bit of a bow to them because I riffle aggressively. This is cards were made to be shuffled. Been playing Green Red Frenzy and haven't dropped a game yet. This deck is gas. It seems really sweet, Namachill. I had low expectations for that one, and it definitely exceeded them. Like, the fact that it's a deck without black or blue in it that's able to keep up against the the control deck seems like a huge draw. How would you describe the BCW sleeves? I've experienced with Dragon Shield and Ultra Pro Ellipse Mat. They're probably, the backs on them are probably closer to the Ultra Pro than the Dragon Shields. The BCWs tend to pack a little bit more smoothly. I'm a side packer like this when I shuffle, and the Dragon Shield mats tend to stick a little bit on me when I'm side packing like that. The BCWs don't really do that to me. They're also pretty durable. I use my shuffling deck a good bit as like my fidget spinner at my desk. And I actually have yet to replace the sleeve on these original 60. You think that red-green deck can compete? Yeah, I think so. Honestly, if I had more time between the Invitational and now, I would probably work on that green-red deck as a possible contender for the Invitational. That being said, I just, like, don't have time to, like, find cards and tune a new deck like that between now and Friday. Honest opinion on BCWs versus Dragon Shield. I'm actually not a huge fan of the Dragon Shield mats. I pop the corners on them somehow the way I shuffle them. The original Dragon Shield ones, not the mats, are fine for me when I've used them in the past. But the original Dragon Shield mats tend to get like that gummy, sticky, like, you know, like the little dots that they get on them, they get like dirty. Like the original Dragon Shields like don't break, but they get dirty. They get like grimy. Do you have stats on how many subs end after 1 month versus rip? I actually don't have stats on that offhand, but it sounds like something I should look up. I think I'm just gonna blink this. Just like get a little tempo here. This matchup's probably really bad for us, right? Like we're about to like put a bunch of Phoenixes into their bin for them. You think Grixis mid-range is a contender in this format? I don't think so. So in my experience playing a bunch of different blue-black X shells, I feel like, well, this is okay. Well, if we're gonna win, it's gonna involve Turbo Mill. Except this Drake's about to destroy us. Yeah, the biggest, sorry, to finish my thought on Grixis versus Sultai. Sultai is the colors that I really like to complement blue-black the most. Grixis can't answer enchantments. It has a lot of difficult times with random problem permanents, whereas Sultai gaining access to both Vraska and Assassin's Trophy give you a lot of tools. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna concede this match. I'm not gonna play against Drakes with this deck. There's like no way we're winning. They're just gonna like 30 us with this thing. Yeah, I'm actually, that's actually a good reason to reconstruct the sideboard here. I don't want to concede if we queue into Drakes again, but I'm going to adjust the sideboard really quick. I think we need to get up to 4 of these, and I need 4 Seal Away to like maybe have a shot in that matchup. Lyra's actually probably not bad there either. She blocks Drakes. Let's do that. We're probably punting game 1. Unless we get really lucky and they don't draw any Drakes. But post-board, we could maybe have a chance with 4 Seal Away and 4 Ixalan's Binding. Yeah, unfortunately, like, this isn't Modern Mill, so we really can't afford to wait for one big move, right? Like, we don't have a bunch of cards that, like, mill 30, 40, 50 cards at a time. You know, or even 10 or 15 cards at a time. Yeah, like I said, I think we can build the deck in a way to, like, be fine in 3 games, but game 1, you're just gonna get toasted, which is fine. Like, even some of the good decks have, like, really hard matchups game 1, right? But because Magic is such a great game where you get to reduce some of the variance that Magic has by playing best of 3, we can sideboard to mitigate some of those feel bads. So please, Wizards of the Coast, don't make your preferred competitive format for Magic Arena best of 1. That's some hot garbage. Yeah, that comment was ranked best of 1, by the way. My website is all WordPress. I think it says WordPress at the bottom somewhere. Sure, I bet there's more people that play Little League than Major League Baseball, but we still don't play Little League competitively, or claim that Little League is more competitive than Major League Baseball. Because just because it's more popular doesn't mean it's more competitive. Don't sell it for something it isn't. But yeah, and like I ranted about this a little bit earlier. The fact that like they're doing this thing where like they're like, well, this is all we have now, so it's just like has to be good enough, is really annoying. I really like Arena. It's the best piece of Magic software I've ever used. And like, it's far better than Magic Online. It's just genuinely good in a lot of ways, but it feels really incomplete in a lot of ways. Just like they pushed it out because they had a deadline and like it's missing a lot of key features, like direct challenge. And now like we're getting a ranked ladder, but like it's only best of 1 to start. Like who knows how long that's gonna take. Like even if it's only best of 1 to start. All right, no, chat, listen. I'm gonna cut you in on a little secret. Beta is a tagline that companies put on their applications to excuse issues that they have because they're lazy. You know how long Gmail was in beta? Here's how you can tell when an application is out of beta. Have you given them your credit card? Do they take your money? It's not a beta. It is out of beta because you have given them your credit card and paid for their software. If this was a beta, we all have loaded fucking accounts and you'd be able to play every piece of it for free to test all the features out. That's the best. I heard another content creator describe it that way. The easiest way to tell if something's a beta or it's not is, are they taking your money?
It is good to see you, my friend. Look how far you have come.
Did I have more fun playing Arena Day with the starter mono green deck than playing Modern? Yes. Oh, Diva. I hope you're doing well, Diva, by the way. Early access, beta, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. We're very dead, right? Just like these Azcanta Vanguards are about to destroy us. Hope you enjoy this trip this weekend and be safe. F Weasel, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate it. And the tier 2 level. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, we're dead to the Ajani, right? I could technically play Teferi and tuck one of their things, but like I'm not winning that game in the long term. Let's bring in all of our removal. I'm gonna trim one Cleansing Nova, but that card's probably necessary. Blink of an Eye is probably not good enough. That is one thing that's really nice about Artifact. Artifact at least like has a pretty release state, right? Like they have a ton of really great features at release and they haven't like tried to cover up issues that they've had by like calling it a beta. Am I supposed to take out the mill cards? I'm probably supposed to take out some of the mill cards, right? And just try and survive. Beta means they released a buggy product to meet an arbitrary release schedule for stock and profit reasons. If they're charging money, it's not beta, they're selling a product. I agree, Magic Missile. And again, all of those things that I said about it not really being a beta and that being a cop-out, like, I love Arena. Arena is great. It's very smooth. It lets me, honestly, Arena does digital Magic better than I thought digital Magic could ever be. I was definitely one of those people that was just resigned to like, Magic's just not a game that's designed with digital in mind and it can't be smooth. Arena's really smooth in a lot of ways. The actual playing Magic is great. It's just missing a lot of really key features. It feels rushed in a lot of ways. So when they moved from closed beta to open beta, they reset everybody's accounts. is what happened. So there were sets that in Arena that aren't currently in Arena now. They were really bad sets. You never want to play with them ever again. But they just got rid of those cards and reset everyone's accounts. That's true. They do design current day Magic with digital in mind a bit, but it's still different than a game than say like Hearthstone or Artifact that's designed from the ground up with digital in mind, right? I agree, Meta Magic Missile. I agree with your assessment. Teferi's looking a little clunktastic. At least we'll always have that first match against blue-black control together, right? I agree, GRTE. I think just pretending Kaladesh and Amonkhet never happened would be fine. I just don't have any outs here, right? Like, I have to draw Settle the Wreckage and a 4th land. I just, like, can't do that. Alright, let's try one more with this, but... Someone asked earlier, do I think this deck is just bad blue-white control? It's feeling like that's the case. It's feeling like it's just an awkward blue-white control deck. He was playing the point of devious cover-up in Sultai lists. That's very contextual, Utter. There isn't really an established Sultai list, and I don't know what you would play devious cover-up for offhand without looking at a full deck list. That's true. We did have, like, infinite donations for Amulet, and I can go till 5 o'clock. Should we play some Esper Amulet today? Would people be sad if we played Esper Amulet today? Got a good audience since my last stream until after. Bits for the God of Democracy for Sultai Merfolk. Good luck this weekend. Thank you for the support. Yeah, I think we can fit in Esper Amulet. Let's make that happen. We'll wrap with Pirates. I'll do Esper Amulet next. I'm gonna do Esper Amulet now. I'm pretty off of whatever this deck is doing. Heavy watcher of YouTube content. I turned 30 yesterday, back into competitive Magic thanks to Arena. Awesome, Bags. Thanks for dropping into a live one, and I appreciate the support. Let's get some Esper Amulet going here. Yeah, this mill deck is clunky and awkward. The mana is bad. Just to wrap concise segment what we're doing here. Psychic Corrosion and Drown Secrets, they don't impact the board, and they're slow, and like you have too many hands where you just like have a bunch of these slow, grindy cards that don't do anything. We played 2 full matches, Quarth. Like, we always for the record, if you don't read the details on my website, 2 full matches are what I promise. And if your deck's a dumpster fire after 2 full matches, submit better decks. I don't know. Brutal honesty is part of our segment here, and just what this is doing. I think maybe blue-white control is okay, but again, once you're in blue-white control in this format, there's no reason not to just play Steam Vents and Sacred Foundries and just play the good red cards for basically free because you have Steam Vents and Sacred Foundries. So, you don't need to vote for anything. I'm gonna grab Esper Amulet.